Good evening, everyone. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Darius Douglas. I am the Director of Admissions at New Mexico Military Institute. I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening. We know that a lot of you have not had the opportunity to visit our institution here in lovely Roswell, New Mexico. We wanted to give you the opportunity tonight to learn more about our institution, to talk with some of our current cadets, and also to talk with some of our current staff here as well. So we want tonight to be interactive. We want you to learn a lot about our institution, including our programs, extracurriculars, and more about our athletics and academic programs as well. So with that said, our institution would like to give you a chance to be interactive with us. If you want to use hashtag NMMIFUTURE and post on YouTube, you can also chat with us or snap with us at NMMI Life. This is your chance for you to learn more about our school and interact with our staff here this evening. So let's get into it, and I want to introduce some of our participants tonight. So first of all, let me introduce our cadets. We have with us Mr. Riley Robertson. Riley, if you could please tell us more about yourself.
I am Cadet Riley Robertson. I live in Roswell, New Mexico. This is gonna be my third year here. I have 3 years of I've been here my freshman year. I coming here my junior year. I have 3 years experience. I've worked my way up ever since the beginning.
All right, thank you so much for that information, Riley, and for the information about yourself. And we also have with us another cadet, Mr. Andrew Hubbard. Andrew, can you tell us more about yourself?
Yes, thank you. My name is Andrew Hubbard. I'm from Roswell, New Mexico, and I will be a junior here at New Mexico Military Institute. And I came here as a freshman, and I'm a tour guide here at admissions.
All right, terrific. Along with Andrew and Riley this evening, we have some of our admissions counselors. First, I'd like to introduce our high school admissions counselor, Mr. Will Wilson. Will, can you tell us more about yourself?
Howdy, my name is Will. I'm one of two of the admission counselors for our high school applicants. I work primarily with freshmen and juniors. And welcome to tonight's show. Looking forward to helping answer any and all questions.
Great. And on our junior college side, we have Mrs. Mary Jo Abney. Mary Jo, can you please tell us more about yourself?
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Jo Abney. I am the admissions counselor, primarily focused with the junior college students that are incoming to New Mexico Military Institute. I'm also a graduate of New Mexico Military Institute as well as the early commissioning program, class of 2001. I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you.
Terrific. And last but not least, we have a parent joining us this evening to give you an inside look at the institution here, Mr. Ron Fleury. Ron, thank you for joining us this evening. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ron Fleury, live here in Roswell, New Mexico. My daughter is a 6-year cadet. She just graduated. She was the regimental commander. And my youngest daughter starts this August. Been the Parents Club, active in the Parents Club, and this year I took the Parents Club over again. So you guys will see a lot from me. And if you have any questions, please feel free. There are no bad questions. So if you think it, ask it, so we can make sure you leave tonight's broadcast with all the information that you need.
Terrific. Thank you so much for that information, Ron. I cannot stress enough to everyone out there, please be interactive with us this evening. This is all about you and for you to get to learn more about our institution here. We want to make sure we cover all of your questions, all of your concerns. Please, there are no silly questions. There are no questions we want to leave unturned. So please be interactive with us through those social media sites that I listed to you, and we'll work our best to get those questions answered for you. So with that said, let's begin this segment. First off, I'm going to talk with our cadets here so they can give you some answers about our institution. We'll start off with Riley. So Riley, how did you first learn about NMMI and why did you decide to come here?
Well, like I said, I do live in Roswell. Every parade, every time there's an event, I saw the cadets. And ever since I was little, I saw it, wanted to be it. Just saw the structure and discipline that they had. It was not like any other high school, and when I found out it was high school, they were just adults and they were treated as adults as such. And I decided I want to be that. I want to hold myself to that standard. I also had a couple of family members that participated at NMMI, but they didn't succeed. But I want to be the first one in my family to succeed.
That's great. That's terrific. So when you first step foot on campus, Riley, what was your first impression?
Well, I'm a little bit of a nerd, and all I could think of was this is Hogwarts. There's castles. There's just so much cool stuff. There's cadets marching around. There's just respect. Like there's just respect whenever you feel it. So much history. It was here before the town was even here, before the speak was even here. Just feeling a part of something that you're not usually, you're bigger than you. It's just great.
Great. So did you have any worries or apprehension about coming here?
Well, I was a little worried about not seeing my family or anything like that. I do live in Roswell, but I held myself to the same standards as people coming from overseas. They didn't get to see their family for the first 3 weeks. They didn't contact them, but I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted some more independence. It's a junior college. It's a prep. If you can't handle it here, it's kind of hard to do it at college. I was just doing it earlier than most people. Other than that, there was nothing really worried about. They kind of covered me everywhere.
So as far as, and I understand you had previous family members that attended here, was there any part of the military structure that concerned you?
Not really. My grandfather, he came here. He was in the military as well. He told me that he said it's almost like boot camp, but they take care of you more. Said that they'll teach you everything. You just have to be able to learn to do it. You just have to want to be here. If you don't want to be here, you're not going to succeed. We're not going to make you do anything. You want to prove yourself. You want to show you can do it all by yourself. It's just you have to pay attention. You have to have patience, and then you have to learn.
Okay. All right. Let's talk with Cadet Hubbard. So Cadet Hubbard, what is a typical day like here at New Mexico Military Institute?
So a typical day, you would start off reveille. The live bugle would sound off at 06:30 in the morning. Then all the cadets are formed up with their troops taking accountability at 7 o'clock. Then you would march to Bates, which is our dining hall, and eat breakfast. After breakfast, you could either go to your room or you can go to tutoring with a one-on-one with your teacher. Or then class starts at 7:55, and you have lunch at 12:55, which also you march to Bates. So for special events, family weekends, you can see the entire Corps marching to Bates like we do every day. It's really spectacular. And then classes ends at 3:30. After 3:30, you go to your activities or your sports, and then night study hall starts from 7 to 9:30, which is in your room, independent studying, or in the library, or another academic building, studying with a group of people or by yourself. There's plenty of people to make sure that you're studying and doing your homework. And then taps, they play taps at exactly 10 o'clock at night, and then everyone starts getting to bed at that time.
All right, all right. Thank you so much for that information, Cadet Hubbard. Let's talk with our parent tonight here, Mr. Fillery. Mr. Fillery, can you tell us a little bit more about your journey as you decided to send your daughter Katie here?
Sure. It was kind of a hard decision because, you think of a military institute and you think of mostly male cadets. But the nice thing is in the 6 years that Katie was here, there wasn't a real big issue with the female-male contact. It was just, once you come and visit the school and see what the programs are and the quality of instruction, it all fit in, and it made it easy to let Katie come.
Excellent, excellent. So did you have any reservations, Mr. Fillery, about sending Katie here before you learned more about our institution?
Again, it was mainly You know, she was 14 years old when she came to the institute, so you know she was quite young, and I didn't know how her age was going to work with it being a 6-year institution. But again, once she did start coming to the institute, and you know, when the cadets are here, they're put into quarters with people their own age. So it just really did work out, and the her youth didn't play that big of a role as I thought it would. So that was my biggest concern, is pretty much just the age that she came here and started to be just on her own.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that information, Mr. Fleury. I'm pretty sure our audience appreciates that. As you can imagine, a lot of parents have concerns about sending their young ones away to boarding school, and some of them out of state. So it's good to have you here to ease some of those concerns, along with our cadets who can offer some valuable information for our parents and also our prospective students joining us this evening. I want to remind everyone that you can send your questions to us via Facebook, YouTube. You can also join us on Snapchat and Instagram as well. So keep those questions coming. And speaking of questions, we have one already this evening. I'd like to go ahead and answer. So this one comes via YouTube. We have someone wondering if they can send their bad kid here. And if so, when can they send them? So with that question said, our institution, I'll answer this one for everyone in the audience. We are first and foremost an academic institution for global learning. We are not an institution for reform. There are some military schools in our nation that do offer that type of structure as far as reforming some of our young men and women. But I would say that our institution is not centered around that. What we want to do is prepare our young men and women to be successful out here in society, and also to be contributors to not just their local economy, but also the global economy as well. So hopefully that answers the question for you. As I said, there are some institutions out here in the land where you can find that type of structure that you're looking for as far as reformatory goes. Okay, thank you so much for asking that question. Please again keep those questions coming for us this evening. We are definitely looking forward to answering them for you. Okay. So, Mr. Fleury, obviously, Katie has had a lot of leadership opportunities here in New Mexico Military Institute. Can you speak to some of those, please?
Sure. When Katie first attended the Institute, she was a recruit at training, just like all cadets. And then over the 6 years, she went up the chain of command, you know, becoming a squad leader, platoon leader, regimental leader, and all the way to the pinnacle, the RC. You know, and that's something that she strived at, is something that she wanted. You know, if you're a cadet that wants that, you can achieve that. Some cadets become a round brown or a first sergeant, and they're happy with that. So, you know, you can go as far as you want or stay where, you know, in your comfort zone. But if you want it, you can go out and get it. Yeah. I don't know what else to say on that. It's just, if you want it, that's the nice thing with the Institute, is you're able to achieve the goals that you set for yourself. And hopefully you'll set those goals higher in the comfort zone so that you can achieve greatness not only here, but get that experience here in a structured environment, so that when you get out of college and hit the workforce or the military, you'll be able to bring those qualities that you've learned here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fleury. That's very valuable information. You're absolutely right about that. We have a question that came to us from one of our YouTube viewers, Ms. Mariah Benelli. She would like to know, is our high school a college high school? I'll speak to that for you, Ms. Benelli. So our high school is a very rigorous program here, okay? We would like to think that we're preparing you for college, as most of our graduates here, 90% of those, as a matter of fact, go on to college, or they go on into the workforce. 10% actually go into the military afterwards. Now, speaking of college, we do have our junior college here is ranked #2 by CNN as one of the best junior colleges in the land. So if you have some time, please look into that for more information about our junior college. So I definitely recommend you looking into it. As far as our high school goes, we will prepare you for life after high school so that you can be successful either way you go. If you decide to go into the workforce, or if you decide that you are looking to move on into a 2-year or 4-year institution, we like to think that you'll be better prepared after leaving New Mexico Military Institute. Thank you so much for that question, Ms. Benelli. Moving forward, let's talk a little bit more for our cadets here. So I actually want to ask this question to both of our cadets. We're going to start off with Cadet Hubbard. Um, Cadet Hubbard, how do you think you have grown as a leader here after being here at New Mexico Military Institute?
Well, I'll start off by saying before I came here, I was a shy, very independent to myself, didn't want to talk to anyone. I just want to kind of stay in my own group. I would definitely not define myself as a leader at all, but when I first came to NMMI, that's what I was expecting, was to become more of a leader, because that's what I see NMMI as, is a factory of leadership, basically. And they offer leadership classes that I took, and it's the overall picture of the school that gives you that leadership mentality. So I've definitely grown. I'm able to talk to more people socially, and I'm able to give a command or definitely lead people in a group if I have to. So the school has definitely taught me things. With all the activities and all the extra stuff that we've done here at NMMI, I definitely became more of a leader.
All right, thank you so much for the information, Cadet Hubbard. Cadet Robertson, same questions to you. How have you grown as a leader after being here at New Mexico Military Institute?
So I think I've grown by before I was very social. I like making people laugh, like making jokes or anything like that. But I think the main problem was no one really took me seriously. NMMI kind of taught me how to get people's respect by doing certain things, by making people respect me more as a leader than just the guy that makes jokes. I mean, it's okay to make jokes, good to have a sense of humor, but NMMI really taught me how to take command if I need if you taught me how to make my priorities straight, what needs to be done, how to fulfill my goals, and it's helped me out in common at NMMI and regular life, and just hanging out with friends as well. Something needs to be done, I take command.
Okay, thank you so much for the information, Cadet Robertson. Actually, Cadet Robertson, I have a question for you from one of our YouTube viewers, Mr. Frank Mara. He would like to know, how much personal time do cadets have on the weekends? Could you give us more insight on that?
We actually have a lot of personal time. It's actually a lot easier than having regular public school, because we're all on the same campus. We have roughly during the actual school year, during the weekdays, we have about maybe roughly an hour or two to hang out with friends. On the weekends, it's if we don't have a drill, if we don't have practice, it's free for all of us. You can go hang out with your friends. I like to game with my buddies on the weekends. You have a solid 6 hours on the weekends but yeah, that's no problem at all. You can just go down maybe 200 yards to your friend's room. It's actually a lot more fun than being in regular public school.
All right, thank you so much for the information, Cadet Robertson. Cadet Hubbard, I have a question for you from one of our YouTube viewers as well. Nicholas would like to know, should he be apprehensive of Rat Week?
Well, Rat Week, no, you shouldn't. Well, you should, but Rat Week will definitely, to be prepared, you just need to be prepared slightly physically. You just need to be able to, it's the physical part of Rat Week is definitely not hard. As long as you're giving your 100%, anyone can do it, for sure. But other than that, Rat Week is definitely when you transform yourself completely and you don't even know it. So you just mentally, just be prepared. It's nothing too hard. As long as you're just giving your 100%, you're definitely going to be able to do Rat Week like nothing.
All right, thank you so much for that information, Cadet Hubbard. We have a lot of questions coming in. Please keep them coming. I have another question for you, Cadet Hubbard. We have Gideon from our YouTube. He would like to know, is there a separation between prep students and two-year students? Can you provide us an answer on that?
Prep students and what students?
To junior college students.
So prep students are the academy preps for those of you who don't know, and from the other normal junior college students, there's a separation, but you're definitely gonna know the same people. They're all gonna be united. They'll all be in one troop. It's all the same. They'll be with athletes and people who are here for other reasons, ROTC. But the preps definitely do have a big group of a separation. After school, they do their own thing. They do their own classes. They come early for the school. They matriculate early, and then they definitely get to know each other better as a group.
All right, thank you all so much for joining us. We're back here, and we're going to start off by answering some of the questions we're getting here on YouTube as well. And you all are doing a great job of presenting us with these questions, and that's what we're here for this evening, to get these questions answered for you. So please keep them coming. Our next question, let's move on to Cadet Robertson with this question here. We have Keith from YouTube. He's actually going to be joining us this fall as an 11th grader. And he would like to know, Cadet Robertson, will he be coming in as a certain rank? And if so, or if not, will he have to work his way up through our institution here to become a certain rank?
So the way this works out is every single person, no matter what grade they're in, junior college, high school, no matter what, they'll come in as a RAT. RAT stands for Recruit at Training. So you'll be that for about almost the first semester. If you prevail or if you fail, it can be longer, it can be shorter. So you graduate as a class. So everybody that came in that semester with you, you'll all turn as well. You'll turn to privates. From then on, it just depends on how well you work with your troop, leadership-wise, academics. Right now, I'm a sergeant first class. Cadet Andrew Hubbard, he's a sergeant first class. We worked our way up. We're gonna be teaching our RATs this semester. So I might have you in my troop. It's a really random chance, but it might happen. But yeah, it's all about earning the right from academics to leadership schools to athletics. It all depends. That's all factors in there. So
all right.
It's just working your way up, actually succeeding.
Thank you so much for that information, Cadet Robertson. We appreciate it. I actually have a question for one of our counselors here this evening. Mary Jo, we have a question for you, kind of similar to the question that I presented to Cadet Hubbard. This question for you, Mary Jo, is what's the difference between our prep students and our two-year students here?
Well, the difference is the goal that's being achieved. So with the prep students, their main goal is to try to get into one of the 5 academies. So be it West Point, the Naval Academy, Air Force Academy, Coast Guard Academy, or the Merchant Marine Academy. So there's about a pool of 50 to 60 students that are all academy prep students. On average, about 30 to 40% are successful enough to be able to go to one of the academies the following year. The great thing about the prep students is that if they don't get accepted the first year, they actually have an opportunity to apply again. So with respects to the ROTC students, sometimes the academy prep students, they actually tie hand in hand with the early commissioning program and the ROTC. Some of them do participate as cadets in there, or and some actually do play in athletic sports. We actually have a few that are coming in playing football, baseball, tennis, as well as joining with the ROTC program. So as diverse as it is, and as much as people have different goals, it is just as stated earlier, it is very blended by the means of what everybody does here. Academically, everybody takes the same group of classes with the intent to get general education done. And but at the same time, after academics, at 1500, everybody breaks off and do whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing by means of physical training or athletics or something of that sort.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for that information, Mary Jo. I'm pretty sure our audience appreciates that. I have a question for Cadet Robertson. A lot of our audience, they wonder about coming to a boarding school and what are our academic programs like. Can you tell us a little bit more about what your curriculum is like, Cadet Robertson, and also give us an idea of the class sizes that we have here?
So it's a lot different from a public school. There's the honors classes and public school and stuff like that. That's not what we have here. They place you at a level that you will succeed in. So if you are a very intelligent person and you can go up to classes, it just depends on how well you place in the test. But it also means that if you are struggling behind, they'll put you in classes that so you can learn a little bit more. And for our class sizes, it's really small actually. I think the highest we've ever had is 15, 17 students to a teacher. I have a chemistry class with only 3 students. It's kind of crazy. A lot of student-teacher interaction just from that. They can slow down the class or speed it up depending on how the class is reacting because there's such a small one. I'm telling this to my high school, my friends going to public school, and they are saying they have 33, 40 kids in their class to one teacher. It's crazy. Just very small numbers.
Right. Thank you so much for that information, Cadet Robertson. I have a question this evening for our counselor, Mr. Will Wilson. One of our YouTube viewers would like to know, her nephew is currently a junior in high school, has been in junior ROTC. Is there anything else that he needs to do to come here for the fall? And if you could please give him some of the steps in the application process.
Absolutely. So I would definitely recommend filling out the online application through the NMMI website. The application itself only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. Once it's been completed, you'll be contacted by one of our admission counselors, either myself or Mr. Carlos Marujo. He's our other high school admissions counselor. He couldn't join us this evening, but he or I will speak with you, and we will send you the application paperwork. That includes the prospective cadet questionnaire. It's a list of questions for the student to complete. It's essentially it's similar to a resume. There you would list what classes they've taken, if they were in honors classes, what extracurricular activities they're a part of, any sports they're involved in, any leadership experience they might have. Also kind of gives us a way to get a general feel of who they are as a person. Here at the Institute, we look at a person that's applying to the Institute holistically. We don't focus on one area specifically. So GPA plays a factor. We require, our minimum GPA requirement is a 2.25 GPA requirement, but that's only one part of the admissions review. We look at if a student's a resident of the state of New Mexico, if they have any leadership ability. So that all plays a part in our admissions process. So
Thank you very much for that information, Will. We surely appreciate that. And yes, as Will said, go to our website and review our application process. It takes a few minutes to take a look at it there. Our online application is free. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. Once that information is submitted to us, one of our counselors will be in contact with you to answer any questions you may have and also make you feel comfortable during the application process. Okay. So, Mr. Fleury, I have a question for you, sir. How would you contrast the academic program here at New Mexico Military Institute versus other academic institutions?
Well, speaking for the local area, you have a 6-year institution. So at the Institute, you have freshmen all the way up to a sophomore in college. So you have a 6-year program. In a regular high school, you're going to be taking just high school classes. And as one of the cadets said, here, it's not that you're going to be taking a high school class as much as you're going to be taking the class that best fits your academic needs and abilities. So you might be in high school, but you might be taking a college trig class or taking a college chemistry class. It's not uncommon for the Institute to graduate a high school student with their associate's degree after 4 years of college. So you get a lot of that here, face-to-face instruction, small class size, and that's the important part there, is that they're being able to achieve a lot more education in a shorter amount of time. So that's the biggest thing that I see with the difference between the education and the style.
All right. Thank you so much for the information, Mr. Fleury.
Mhm.
I have a question for Cadet Robertson. Cadet Robertson, Travis from YouTube. And thank you for joining us this evening, Travis. We surely appreciate your presence. Travis from YouTube, Cadet Robertson, would like to know, can cadets get jobs while they're students here?
Yes, you can. Me and Andrew Hubbard are actually admission tour guides. We're the ones giving tours around the campus. So if you ever want to drop by, we'll gladly give you a tour. But it's not just the tour guides. We also accept applications for a lifeguard at our pool, or a ropes course facilitator, which is we have a ropes course here on campus, like rock climbing, leadership reaction courses. And basically what that is, they'll teach you how to keep everybody safe, make sure they're doing everything correctly, and you'll basically watch over them, make sure they don't get hurt. But there's also other jobs you can have on campus. NMMI does hire cadets because they respect us more than other 16 and 17-year-olds. But you cannot take a job in other off-campus because, especially for your first year, you'll be on campus more than you will be able to go off.
All right. Thank you so much for the information, Cadet Robertson. I have a question from one of our YouTube viewers, Mrs. Brown. She'd like to know if we will be giving tours in the fall, starting when classes start. Mrs. Brown, I'll answer that question for you myself. We will continue to give tours Monday through Friday. You could pick a time. You can actually go online to our website and you can schedule your tour visit here. You'll come to the Office of Admissions. You'll meet with our wonderful staff. These two cadets might be in the office themselves, and we'll have Mary Jo and Will here as well to answer your questions for you. We give tours at 8:30 or 12:30 Monday through Friday. You can schedule it online at our website. Go to visit NMMI at our website, and you can schedule it yourself right there. We will receive that notification that you'd like a tour conducted. We'll accommodate you. Okay. Thank you so much for that question, Mrs. Brown. So at this time, let's take a look at our classroom and what our academic life here is at NMMI. All right, and we are back. Cadet Hubbard, I have a question for you. Nicholas from YouTube, and thank you for joining us this evening, Nicholas, would like to know how do you how do you prioritize your day with the military aspects of the institution along with athletics and also your classwork?
It's a good question. Thank you. The military aspect part of it is separated onto the weekends, and we have morning drill on Wednesday where we could, for example, just go out into one of our fields and do rifle drill or any type of activity there. But it's all separated. When you first come here, you are definitely taught where everything is. You'll give you a calendar, a schedule, a planner, and then you will have to schedule yourself your day basically because you're kind of taking control of yourself. You're being more responsible. And after school, it's just like a normal school. You go to your athletics or clubs. You could do more than one sport for sure. There's not always a preseason. For baseball example, it's in the second semester of high school here. College is all year round for that sport, but it's separated for those type of things. The military aspect does play main part of the role in your everyday life, as in the uniform in your room, the inspections, and the formations that you have to take accountability for yourself and for your troop. But other than that, it's you just schedule it on your own. You go to your own classes, and if you don't have a class, you can go to your room and have your own free time. So it's all scheduled on your own base. That's why I like it so much.
Thank you so much for that information, Cadet Hubbard. I have a question for our missions counselor, Mr. Will Wilson. Will, if you can answer this question for one of our YouTube viewers, can a high school student take college classes while they are enrolled here at New Mexico Military Institute?
Oh, yes, sir. So our high school students can take junior college classes starting their junior year. It's actually a new program that started in the last couple of years. It's a program where our high school students starting their junior year can begin taking the college credits, and they can either just take college credits on their own, or they can also work on getting their associate's degree at the same time that they get their high school diploma. This past year, we actually had 4 high school students graduate with their junior college peers from the junior college itself. So it's absolutely possible. Both the junior college classes that a high school student takes would count both for high school credit as well as college credit. So a lot of our students do end up graduating from NMMI with college credit already.
Right. Thank you so much for that information, Will. Mr. Fleury, I have a
Yes, sir.
question for you. One of our viewers would like to know, can they obtain their driver's license while they are in high school at New Mexico Military Institute?
That's a question I'm not sure of. I know with my daughter, we did it during the summer break. And with my daughter that'll be coming this year, we did it during the Christmas break. But I'm going to have to let you answer that one because I'm not sure if they can do it during the academic year.
Okay. And for our viewer that asked that question, I want to answer that question for you, but I want to be totally accurate on when you can obtain your driver's license. I want to make sure I get you the most accurate and detailed information. So please, if you can contact me. My direct email address is douglas@nmmi.edu. Okay, I'll be glad to answer that for you. And for any of our viewers out there as well, you can contact me via phone if you have questions after our segment this evening. I'm at 575-624-8319. I'm in the office from 7:30 to 4:30 Mountain Standard Time. All right, I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have about our institution and also regarding the application process as well. All right. Thank you so much for that question. I look forward to answering it for you. I also have a question for Cadet Robertson. Can you tell us a little bit more about the athletic programs here at New Mexico Military Institute, and have you ever been involved in any of them?
For high school, it's very rigorous. So we have great coaches here at Institute. We have 2 Olympic coaches for track, triathlon, and swim. Great people. I actually do high school football. Our high school football, we're teaching a lot of kids because they come out from all over the world. So not many people know how to play, so we're teaching them from so because they don't have as much experience. Yeah, so I do high school football, and it's kind of very hard to be a student athlete here at NMMI because you have to balance your academics and your athletics and the core. You're juggling all those around. But if future colleges or anybody on your application sees that you are a student athlete here at NMMI, they'll treat you with so much more respect because they know you can manage your time. You know how to succeed in your goals because if you've completed a year or more here at NMMI, just being a student athlete, it proves more than ever, more than anything.
All right. Thank you so much for that information, Cadet Robertson. I have a question for one of our YouTube viewers, Travis. He would like to know how many of our high school students are from the state of New Mexico versus out of state. So I'll answer that question for you, Travis. The majority of our high school students are in state. They come from New Mexico. They come from all over New Mexico, actually. And then we do have a certain percentage of our students who do come from out of state. And not just out of state, Travis, but we also have students from all over the world, including countries like Vietnam, Cameroon, Nigeria, Germany, also countries in South America, including Brazil. So we are a global institution. So we have a lot of students from different areas throughout the world. Actually, 30% of our student body here is international. So hopefully that helps you out with your question there. That's a terrific question. Keep those questions coming, everyone. So our next question actually has to do with our athletic programs here. And I know, Cadet Robertson, you answered some of them. Cadet Hubbard, for you, have you been involved in any of our athletic programs? And I know Cadet Robertson spoke upon how it can be a little bit difficult, with your schedule to incorporate athletics into your daily life. Have you had any difficulty incorporating that into your student life here if you've been involved in our programs athletically?
Thank you. It's a great question because I I came here. I kind of gave up on sports my first year. I wanted to mainly focus on what the school was about and just academics mainly. Definitely focus on academics the first year for me. That was just a personal decision. Um, this next year, I'm going to do cross country, swimming, and triathlons. So I'm definitely going to be more busy, along with the 2 clubs that I'm in, also at New Mexico Military Institute. But I could, over the last semester, I could definitely tell that now that I'm more experienced in how the school works and what's actually going on and what could happen. I'm definitely able to fit all these things in and work very smoothly and flow right through everything.
All right. Thank you so much for that information, Cadet Hubbard. Right now, let's take a dive into some of our athletic programs here at New Mexico Military Institute. All right, welcome back, everyone. I have a question here from one of our YouTube viewers. His name is Nicholas. Nicholas' question is, he is a Roman Catholic and he doesn't understand this program will work for him? I'll answer that question for you, Nicholas. Uh, we do not show any bias based on race, creed, religion, color, ethnicity, any of that. Everyone is free to apply to our institution of any religious background. So please feel free to go ahead and apply. We, as I indicated earlier, we have students from all over the world, from different religious backgrounds, and we welcome them all here to our community. So please feel free to apply, as I said. If you have any other questions regarding that, you can contact me on my office number, as I indicated earlier, at 575-624-8319. We definitely welcome you to go ahead and apply to our institution, and we look forward to you hopefully joining us one day, and maybe I'll get a chance to meet you. Thank you very much for that question, Nicholas. All right. So we speaking of that, we pride ourselves on diversity here at New Mexico Military Institute. And when I say diversity, I'm speaking of our male versus female um, student body here. So the majority of our student body here is male. We have about 80% of our students are male, and then 20% of our students are female. If you didn't know already, so um, our student body here is male and female, and we welcome it. We've been like that for a very long time. We've been around for a long time, actually, since the 1890s. So we try to make sure that we give everyone an equal opportunity here at our institution of higher learning, and also within our high school as well. So let's talk a little bit more to our parent here tonight, Mr. Fleury. Mr. Fleury, can you give me some more information about some extracurricular opportunities here for our audience so they can know what's available to them?
Sure. During my daughter's tenure here at the Institute, she played volleyball, she played basketball. Then she also took care of she was the manager for the baseball team. So sports wise, even if you're not a player, there are things that you can do with the athletics department. She worked here in the admissions office. So there's a lot of different things you can do. There's a lot of clubs that cadets can belong to. There's the chess club. There's the flying club. You can actually get your pilot's license while you attend here. There's pretty much a club. If you can think about it, there's a club here. There's a paintball club. There's the Polynesian club. So there's a lot of those to do, and those are some of the things that you get to do with those extracurricular activities, and to build that camaraderie with the rest of the cadets here. As was stated earlier, you know, the Institute is filled with cadets from not only here in New Mexico, but the United States and the world. And to take advantage of that melting pot and join those clubs and participate in the sports. If you don't do that, you will lose a lot of the things that you can learn at the Institute. Academics is one thing, but learning about the world around you and the different cultures and peoples and customs plays a great deal. One of the nice things with that, with participating in all these, my daughter had the chance to go and stay with cadets when they went home for Christmas and summer break. So, you know, definitely take part in the many different academics, plus all the different clubs and sports. And it also makes your time at NMMI a lot nicer and more enjoyable.
All right. Thank you so much for that information, Mr. Fleury. That was very valuable. I have a question from one of our viewers, Alexander. And this question goes for Mary Jo. Mary Jo, Alexander would like to know if a cadet can also be in the Army Reserves while attending our institution.
Yes, absolutely. Here at New Mexico Military Institute, we understand that you know, with the different programs that we have here, especially with the ROTC program, there's many cadets that are actually in the Army Reserves, the National Guard. There's also students that have been in the Marine Corps Reserves as well, Army Reserve, or I'm sorry, Air Force Reserves and such. With the great thing about the ROTC program that we have here, the early commissioning program also has a different program, or not different program, excuse me, a program called the Simultaneous Membership Program. It's a fantastic opportunity for students to be able to work in the National Guard. They're considered a cadet in the New Mexico National Guard, assigned to a unit. Here, they're able to experience what it's like to be in a unit, and the whole goal and objective is to be a junior officer, shadowing lieutenants and officers or captains, all the officers, to be able to gain that leadership experience while they're on their way in their route to become an Army officer. There's financial incentives with that as well. It's highly encouraged, and with the reserves or the National Guard, the students here receive tuition assistance as well as discounted tuition rates because of the military service that they're doing.
All right. Thank you so much for that information, Mary Jo. That was a very good question. And Mary Jo, you did an excellent job of giving us that information. So let's do this, everyone. Let's take a quick glimpse at some of our activities outside of the classroom here at New Mexico Military Institute. All right, welcome back, everyone. Sorry, we had a little bit of technical problem with the sound there. It's been a wonderful evening of Q&A with our cadets, also our counselors, and also Mr. Fleury. We thank you all for joining us and getting your questions answered. Again, we have classes starting here this fall, August 1st and August 2nd. We are currently accepting applications up until July 10th. So if you've begun an application, please get all of your documents completed. It's a very streamlined application process, okay? If you have any questions, please contact us here in the Office of Admissions. You can contact us at admissions@nmmi.edu. Okay, we'll be glad to help you out. This goes for all of our in-state and out-of-state prospective students. As I said, we're a global institution, and we're looking forward to seeing you this fall. You can reach me in my office here directly at 575-624-8319. You can also reach us at the admissions office number there on your screen at 800-421-5376. Okay, if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to email us. You can contact any one of the admissions counselors, Will or Mary Jo. They'll be glad to help you out. We look forward to seeing you this fall, and thank you again for joining us this evening, and have a great evening.